has always interested me about this play is primarily the historic aspect, which is also the challenge. So my primary vision is clarity. To make it clear, we have to, what I think, focus on are the two primary relationships in the play, which are Prince Hal and Falstaff, and Prince Hal and his father. Because to me, this is a story about growing up.
As much as this is seen as a history play, it's a coming-of-age story set in an historical period that was very important to Shakespeare's audience. It's about this young prince discovering his place in the world and learning how to take responsibility.
We have a young man who's trying to find his way, and he gloms on to a charismatic father figure who is without responsibility and therefore attractive, and repudiates his real father who desperately needs him.
He's the father that represents everything that is not the court. He represents the world, the great world. And that's, I think, why Falstaff is depicted as this great rotund man, because he almost symbolizes the world.
With the relationship between Hal and Falstaff, there's this wonderful experience of learning how to constantly invent and reinvent yourself.
So the great weighty Falstaff is really this light, airy character. He's a drinker, but he's sharp as a tack. So I do see him as an inventor and a character who is constantly reinventing his surroundings and his circumstances.
I think that's what he takes away from that. I want to say friendship, and that's a real question. Is what Hal has with Falstaff a legitimate friendship? There's certainly the fellowship that comes along with being a drinking buddy, right? And that's why alcohol is so powerful. That's why we carouse at weddings, we celebrate. There are few things that bring people together in that social atmosphere like that.
I love that. I love that love for life that he has. He's kind of like a man-child. So I see all these things in him, and I'm trying to bring them out as we go through the process.
So he's in a similar situation to me. This is a dream role for him too. So it's great to be sharing that experience with another actor that we're both like, man, isn't this awesome? We're playing Hal and Falstaff. This is so great. And having him, and Rob for that matter, it's like having William Shakespeare and Richard Burbage on set as consultants. Between the two of them, they've forgotten more about Shakespeare than I'll ever know.
I'm having a great time doing it. It's a lot of fun. It's one of the great roles. It's one of those roles that any actor should have on his Shakespeare bucket list.
I have a wonderful actor playing Falstaff, and he is an iconic figure. And if you've never seen a Falstaff on stage, you need to come and see it, because he's hilarious. He is an iconic con man, and his wit is tremendous. With David, it's a process of learning how he learns and how we communicate together, and I enjoy that aspect of it too.
He's a great guy, very generous, very sweet guy, and he's a lot of fun to play with, because there's this relationship between Falstaff and Hal that really needs to come out, and it really is like he's a father. He's sort of like a second father to Hal.
And when you put those two together, it's just a very interesting dynamic of how do we form a vocabulary so that we work effectively.
As an actor, he's really helped me with that journey of simplifying, thinking more about how can I see what I'm bringing to the table as enough without having to try to layer too much onto Hal. Just tell that story. It's beautiful enough as it is. Rob is so utterly passionate about this play, which is why it's been such a pleasure working with him.
We've worked together on many occasions in the past. When I knew he was directing, I was very excited, because I haven't worked with him in a number of years. And we've done a lot of Shakespeare together in the past, so we do sort of understand each other's ways, which is good. Well, Henry IV Part 1 is really underdone as a Shakespeare play, and it's really one of his best plays.
People should come and see this show, not only because it's a great story, that's beautifully told by Shakespeare, that's being beautifully performed by all of these actors, some of the best actors in the city, but also because you probably won't get a chance to see this play again for a long time. People don't do it because they're scared of the title.
We call this a history play, but there are huge aspects of comedy, of tragedy even, and horseplay, and rhetoric, and even slapstick.
It's just not a sexy name, but it's a sexy play. It's an awesome play. It's violent, there's romance, there's a great story, there's this coming of age thing. People are getting drunk and having parties and putting on plays in bars. I mean, it's the best stuff he ever wrote.
and no one ever does it.
There is action in the fifth act, the entire fifth act. It's just fighting. Shakespeare did a great job of arcing through to, okay, we've got all these political points, everybody vying for power. Now it's time to open up a can of whoop ass. So here we go. And it ends on a very powerful note where Hal has to grow up and make that choice between a life of carefree fun with Falstaff, the irresponsible but absolutely delightful clown, or is he going to embrace his destiny? Come see the show. It's a history play that a lot of people don't tackle because of the word history play. But some of the history plays are what I consider the best Shakespeare up there. History play to us means live action drama to the Elizabethans. I'm approaching it more from the aspect of, Game of Thrones. It's violent, it's sexual, it's about money, and it's about who's got the biggest sword on the block and who can back it up. That's what makes it exciting, and I think that's what Shakespeare's audience found exciting. So come see it.